there's been a lot of things happening behind the scenes. As you can see, we've moved. Hi everyone, welcome back into my channel. My name is Rebecca, if you haven't met me before. I'm 31 and I am a person with invisible disabilities, and I'm raising a child who is special needs. On this channel I talk through my motherhood journey as a mum, and I also do budgeting and finances as someone who is on Centrelink at this point in time. That may change in the future, hopefully, but who knows. This is just the phase of where I am in my life. I'm an Aussie as well, just so you know. I'm in WA specifically. So in today's video we're going to be going through our monthly reset. I just want to first of all apologise to my regulars for taking such a hiatus. I think I haven't uploaded in like 2 months, so I'm deeply sorry for that. There's been a lot of things happening behind the scenes. As you can see, we've moved and it's been a transition, and it's only going to be temporary because we will be moving again at some point this year. But you know, we're in this little phase of our lives at the moment. This channel for me is really just sharing my experiences in hopes of, you know, other people, other parents, other mums especially, to feel seen and feel heard and feel validated in their experiences, whether you are a parent or specifically a parent to a disabled child, or you have disabilities of your own. I know the struggles, and yeah, and also just on Centrelink and just on a very low income. So I've got my cup of tea here and let's get into today's video. Okay, here we are in April. So April was a messy month because we moved the first or second week of April, so we had like double rent to pay, and we also got paid 3 times in April, so it was a lot. There's been some highs, some lows. As I said in the intro, I do want to reiterate and just apologise that I haven't been active on this channel. You know, I've been going through a lot mentally. I might get into that in another video if you're interested, but there's just been a lot happening behind the scenes that I needed to take a little bit of a break. But I'm back. I still have that passion to get my finances sorted and to get back on track. So here we are, and I hope you're there with me, because we can do this together. Us mums, us humans, we're in a really bizarre history time in our lives, so I definitely think that we need to just all band together and support each other, and yeah. Anyway, okay, so my mantra for the month is never spend money before you have it. No. No. Because, you know, we didn't, it's kind of, this move opportunity definitely sort of sprung up on us, and, you know, because of how badly I was struggling where I was mentally, I took the opportunity and I ran with it. You know, I leaped for it, and yeah, so as you can see, we're in a new location. This will be temporary, for a few months until we can find our own space, hopefully. So we've had a bit of a transition period, so it was kind of a good thing that we were paid 3 times this month, but then it was also a curse as well, because it was so hard for me to keep track of. I've struggled with money and I've struggled with understanding the, you know, money and terms and you know, numbers and things like that. I've always struggled with maths, so trying to do this by myself has been a struggle. So I'm not going to be perfect at it. There are going to be things that I miss or I don't do properly. It's just a part of who I am. Take it or leave it, is what it is. Anyway, so let's get into what the fuck happened in April, because it was a mess. So income definitely was up there. So as you can see, I actually got a boost a little bit, completely. So at first, because I usually get 12, 10, 40, I believe exactly, that was my regular payment. Now it's changed. As you can see, it started to increase for that first payment, and then the next 2 were the new normal, and I'm still getting that for the next month from what I can see for May. So yeah, but like I said, we got paid 3 times that month, so yeah, so that's now my new normal, is $12.20 exactly. So, you know, I was able to budget a little bit more, but again, going into the month originally, when I set out the budget, I didn't plan on moving, so I was able to put quite a bit in savings and spending funds and all that, but that all changed when we decided to move, because we still had to pay a week for where we were, and then we were paying you know, like I paid, I think, a week in advance where we are, and then we could like kind of catch up when we were there, kind of thing. A lot of extra grocery shopping, a lot of extra just shopping in general, because we moved with just our rooms really, and that's it. We didn't have really anything else. I mean, we don't need to yet, but that is something that we will have to look into when we do move into our own house eventually this year at some point, because like we need our fridge that's still up at the other place, because we're family sharing again, but it's just a different family member basically. But it's been such a nice transition for us, and our daughter's really like taken to, and we've all kind of, it's been a really easy transition, which has been so nice. And obviously, as you can see, this is a much nicer house. Just from this is just so nice. This is definitely the nicest house I've ever lived in. So yeah, but yeah, so we are going through the motions, let's say that. This amount here that was rolled over from the previous month, that's my medication. I'm kind of like a month ahead in a way, going on up. A few things changed with like, you know, obviously I had to pay for the extras insurance this month. That was $157. I had already pre-saved from the previous month. I set aside for, you know, those paychecks the amount that I needed to bring it up to the 1st of April, because that's when it comes out. It's the 1st of every 3 months, so I know my next one, I think it's June, is when I have to start saving again for that amount. But it actually went down, so it was originally going to be like 180, but then I can't remember what happened, but they brought it down, so I'm thankful for that. I'll take my wins where I see them. Phone bill was actually due on my birthday, so, you know, happy birthday to me, I guess. And then, so these are new too, so gas, electricity and water. I'm setting aside each month $30 into each, because there's obviously 4 of us living here, but we're 2 like families, essentially 2 couples, so we're each setting aside a certain amount, and we're kind of just splitting that in a sense. And we might have to put extra depending on, because, you know, we're getting into winter, so, you know, we are going to be using the dryer a lot more, and just more electricity and water and everything. So depends on how long we're here for. We will obviously be here for the next cycle of bills, so yeah, we just have to see. But I'm setting aside money already. It's a little bit, but I hope it will go a long way anyway. YouTube, that's still the same. Crunchyroll, that's still the same. I went through moments of like OnePass and also Patreon, which I've kind of gone on and off as well. But one thing I did do was I did get the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Online, for a year, and I also bought the OnePass for a year. OnePass is like, you can get free delivery from like Kmart, Bunnings, I think it's Target, and a couple of other places as well, so minor adjustments here and there for that. This is where it gets interesting. So yeah, obviously groceries, we were quite far, way over budget, but you know, it is what it is. It's going to take us a little bit to get into the groove of kind of where we fit with, you know, because we put $100 into the house, we do have to kind of figure out, you know, how much extra we have to put in for our part of the food, like for our snacks and for our free nights and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so also obviously takeaway, not great. Yeah, not my finest month. Yeah. Look, I will take accountability and say, like, I made bad decisions with takeaway. I think we're all going through that at the moment, I feel. Not all of us, but I think, you know, we have our moments. You know, so I'm taking accountability, but I'm also trying to give myself a bit of grace. It's an adjustment period with moving. Same with my medications. I ended up doing a little bit extra for, I can't remember what that was for, but I put it under medications anyway. I think that was for our daughter. So that was an extra expense, which is fine. Home stuff, I bought a lot of home stuff because, you know, I needed lamps and a side table, and, well, don't really need them, but it is nice to have, especially with a toddler who ends up in our bed most nights. So same with therapy. I was originally going to do 3 therapies, but I dropped it down to 2 this month, because even though we get paid an extra paycheck like for April, I wanted to try and save a little bit of that. Clothes, I only spent once. I spent $7.30, and that was at the op shop, and I bought a play suit that was really cute. Shopping, again, spent a lot a lot on shopping. Again, some of that is groceries, some of that is, you know, like home stuff. It's kind of all mixed. But yeah, definitely well over budgeted with that. Same with games. I spent $97 on games. Was not planned. I bought Tomodachi Life, which I'm obsessed with, and I bought Hosey, was the other game. That one's okay, but I'm definitely more into Tomodachi Life at the moment. I'm like, can't stop playing it. That and Animal Crossing, I'm just switching, literally switching between on the Switch too. And then with our daughter, I put in 200, and I've got about $50 left of that all up. So, and I was not able to, due to all of the other spending that I did, some of that was needed, others were not needed, but because of that, I think in general, I think I need to pause with investing just while we kind of get a settle on things and get back on our feet a little bit with money. So yeah, that's essentially it for the month of April. Let's move into May, which I've already pre-budgeted, or like sort of set out, as you'll see here. So moving into May, I'm feeling a little bit of normalcy again. So we get paid 2 times. Sorry, I get paid 2 times. I get $12.20 exactly. That's the new norm, at least for right now. So the things, so obviously as you can see, I've kind of tried to color code it a little bit, not just so for you guys to understand, but for me, it's really for me to understand what amount comes out of what paycheck, because I'm really struggling with, like, when I do these budgets, I struggle a lot because it's a monthly budget, but I get paid fortnightly, and then once I budget the month, that's fine, but then I have to try and figure out what's coming out of each paycheck and actually have to make it exact, which is really tricky sometimes because it's not exact. So it's kind of like I have to set aside some money from that paycheck towards the next paycheck so I can make all of the right, you know, things that I need out of that paycheck, if that makes sense. It's kind of tricky, but this looks a little more simple and normal, which is what I love. Last month was chaos, but we'll see how we go. So I've got the $11 for that. I need to, oh no, I'm putting that into car funds, never mind. My car registration is due June, so like early June. So I'm setting aside the money now. I've got half of it saved at the moment, so the rest of the half will be, because I pay yearly for my rego. I like to pay yearly, so I pay $500 for my car a year. So that's that. And yeah, that's in the car funds, you'll see that. But so for next month, for June, I'll have that in there, ready to go. And then on the 18th of May, my phone bill comes out, and then again 30 for setting aside for bills, and then OnePass, I will be paying $40, but that's due like very early May, so that's what I will be paying for the year. And then moving forward, so we've got $400 for the month for food. That includes, I think that includes extra for like our food. So there's $100 for, you know, like the house food, so like meals and stuff like that, for dinners and things. And then the other $100, the other 100 is for like our daughter's nappies and all that sort of stuff, and also snacks and whatever else we want to have for like free-for-all nights and stuff like that. $680, that is our new board that we're paying for the month. So it is a lot, but it's worth it. My mental health is so much better, and sometimes you just have to sacrifice for mental health, whether it's financial or what, if you can do it. And we are fortunate enough at this point in our lives where we can. It's a struggle, and it will be a struggle, but again, I can work through that. I can work through financial struggles. Mental health is a different thing for me. Public transport, I put $20 aside for that because I do want to get back onto public transport, and I need to get a new Smart Rider and put money onto that. So that's that. I did put 30 into takeaway. It may go over, but I really, really, really want to stick to that this month. I'm going to try, see how we go. Medications, that's the same. Therapy, that's the same. Gifts, because Mother's Day for us in Australia is the 10th of May, so usually the second Sunday of May, so it's the 10th for us this year. So I'm setting aside some money for my mum, my stepmom, and my mother-in-law and stuff like that. So you know, and then I'm only able to put $70 into our daughter, but that's okay because we put was 200 last month and she's already got 50 left, so she should be okay. I don't think there's any school stuff coming out or anything like that. And then so most of the money will be going into sort of a savings, so car funds and Christmas. I want to start saving for Christmas, so is what it is. And then also because of EMDR, whatever money I get back from that, I'm going to put into emergency funds because I need to build that back up badly. I'm at 350 at the moment because, like I said, we spent a lot of our savings on just house stuff and moving and all of everything that comes with moving. There is an expense, so it was just lucky that I had I think I had about $800, so I'm now down to 350. So yeah, that is going to be it for the month of May. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, subscribe, and if you want more, click on one of these videos here, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.